Welcome to the Solar Energy Channel, where you're going to get an honest, inside look at all things solar. My name is Charles Fox.
And I'm Warren Miller. And in this video, we're going to talk about the differences between net billing and net metering. Before we jump into the content, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you'll get notified of future videos just like this. We'll start off with net metering. Net metering is a really valuable mechanism for solar owners to be able to take advantage of their solar production during hours where it's either the evening or bad weather, and for them to use the utility as a storage mechanism. So in other words, what happens is we size or design your solar system to cover 100% of the electricity that you use in a 1-year period. And what we know happens in the summertime on a sunny day, your solar will be producing much more than you're currently using. And that extra electricity will flow onto the grid, essentially providing electricity for your neighbors. And when that happens, your meter will spin backwards and you'll get a credit on your bill. And so at the end of the month, you've probably produced more than you used. And so your electric bill would say you have X amount of kilowatt hours in the bank. And each month you can add to that bank. It'll roll over just like rollover minutes month to month. And in the wintertime or the nighttime, you can take it out of that bank. And your meter will either spin backwards or forwards depending on whether you're sending electricity to the grid or you're taking electricity from the grid. And there's no loss. In a net metering environment, you send 1 kilowatt hour, Charles, you bring 1 kilowatt hour back. It's a 1-to-1 exchange. So it's a great cost-effective storage solution for solar owners.
And investor-owned utilities and public utilities are mandated by their states to offer net metering.
That's correct.
So now there are cooperatives that are not public utilities or not investor-owned where they are not forced to offer net metering. And there are cooperatives, especially we see this in Ohio, that are what they're doing, we call it net billing. So rather than give you a kilowatt hour for kilowatt hour swap, it's more in a monetary value. And actually it diminishes the value of your solar production. So in a nutshell, what it does is if you overproduce at any given point in time, so let's say your solar system, it's the middle of the summer and it's overproducing, and so you're pushing power back out onto the grid, rather than getting a kilowatt hour back free, they're going to give you a dollar value based on the wholesale rate, not the whole retail rate. So it's not the value of a full kilowatt hour. So in other words, you may be paying 12 cents a kilowatt hour, but your overproduction, what's being pushed out, is only going to be credited to you at the supply rate or even maybe the wholesale rate, which could be 5 to 6 cents. So what it does is your overproduction becomes less valuable. So if your usage does not follow your solar production, so in other words, if in the summer your usage is low, or in the middle of the day your usage is low and you're pushing a lot of power out, your return on investment is diminished. And you need to make sure that you're compensating correctly the value of that kilowatt hour, because it's no longer 12 cents in that scenario. It could be 5 or 6 cents.
So in summary, net metering allows you to produce 1 kilowatt hour, and if you send that 1 kilowatt hour onto the grid, there's no loss. You can take that 1 kilowatt hour back at any time. However, with net billing, you send a monetary value back. You get a credit for what you send to the grid that's extra, that's based on the wholesale cost, so not what you're paying into all-in cost. So we only see net billing in certain areas, predominantly with the cooperatives in Ohio. It's not very common. Most investor-owned utilities offer net metering, but we do see it with a lot of cooperatives in Ohio. And also, if you want to take a deeper dive into net metering, we've created a video on that, and there's a link to that video in the description below.
Thank you for watching this video. We hope you found this content very useful. Please leave comments in the section below. We'd love to hear feedback from you.